Yesterday, federal agents shot and killed Renee Good in Minneapolis. What is this? Is this chaos? Incompetence? So I've spent the morning reading federal deployment records. This is not chaos, it's a playbook. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Not because I think I have all the answers, but because you need the sources. The federal government has deployed 33,000 employees into ICE operations. 40% of the DEA's workforce has been redeployed into ICE. 30% of ATF, 20% of the US Marshals, 1,700 IRS agents, and personnel from the State Department, the FBI, and the Bureau of Prisons. There was 2,000 ICE agents deployed just to Minnesota. Minnesota's foreign-born population is only 9%. The national average is 14.8%. They sent massive federal force to a state with below-average immigration. They froze $185 million in childcare funding. They also froze $400 million of small business loan funding. The stated reason? There's a YouTube video. A right-wing YouTuber named Nick Shirley posted a video with no evidence alleging that Somali-operated childcare facilities had defrauded public funds. The Minnesota Department of Children, Youth and Families responded by investigating each site identified in this video. So far, officials have not confirmed any evidence of fraud. There has certainly been no evidence from any of their inspections that would directly support the claims of massive fraud as highlighted in this video. Nevertheless, the Trump administration used these allegations to freeze all childcare funding to Minnesota and deploy 2,000 ICE and Homeland Security agents to Minneapolis and boast about it as the largest immigration operation in history. This playbook is not new. It's actually quite old and worn. It's a pattern. What we've had in the last week are multiple simultaneous crises. January 3rd, Epstein files released. January 5th, Venezuela invasion. January 6th, Minneapolis raids, and peppered throughout, stealing Greenland. You are watching the shock doctrine. The Trump administration is trying to overwhelm the opposition, but they have too many fronts to defend. The playbook is failing, and now they've picked the wrong target. Even if ICE were actually trying to fix immigration, they are not being deployed where the problem is. They are being deployed where the Trump administration wants to send a message. This is not about immigration. It's about state compliance. They are trying to create the conditions for violence. Deploy overwhelming force, use agencies that are not trained for this, freeze funding to destabilize services, target communities with strong mutual aid networks, and wait for the resistance. The goal is control the narrative, frame protesters as rioters or terrorists. It's an attempt to expand the precedent. If successful in Portland, move to Chicago. If successful in Chicago, move to Minneapolis. Can we get away with using IRS agents as our enforcers? The funding freeze is collective punishment on children for non-compliance with centralised corrupt cronyism. That's very on brand for Donald Trump. The shock doctrine and collective punishment are part of the imperial playbook. This is the strategy that Bush and Cheney rolled out in Iraq. Yesterday, the victim was a Midwestern woman. You pay in federal taxes per person $19,932. That buys you 137,000 federal law enforcement officers. The question is not whether this is legal. The question is, why are you funding this? They are running a playbook. You need to recognize it. You need to name it. You need to stop funding it.